Welcome to another Quick and Dirty review. Finally, we're back. I'm Joe. And
I'm Faust.
There you go. So first off, we're going to be going over The Black Panther.
Oh, yes.
It was the best movie ever. It was wonderful. We have nothing bad to say about it.
Absolutely no gripes whatsoever.
Yeah, it was excellent. There's nothing else you could do to make it better.
Now that the Disney executives are gone.
Yes, now let's talk about this for real.
It's a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie, but you hate Marvel movies in general.
I do not just Marvel movies. I hate superhero movies. Yes.
So, okay, let me start with this. I will be more analytical.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that this did not have the cultural archetypes behind what we normally
stereotype,
see. Yeah, there's no stereotyping in this, and it's nice not to have every other word come up the N-word, or to have it be like faux shizzle my nizzle or anything like that.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, yeah, and
damn.
none of that stereotype stuff happens, and they do put forth a very solid effort to give a community, a background, all that kind of good stuff.
I mean, it is about an African city hidden behind invisible magic, science, magic. Oaxaca is hidden behind magical science, magic, science, magic.
Magic, science, science, magic.
With magical space rock science, magic, space rock.
Yes, space rock magic.
And so Wakanda...
Oaxaca. I got you to say it at least.
Oaxaca is a province in Mexico.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've been messing around with you.
It's also a form of cheese.
That's it. This is now a review on Oaxaca.
Yeah. In my mind, I liked it for the fact that it was more concentrating on being a movie about people trying to protect themselves and their lifestyle.
Right. And not only that, they do the representation of what a cultural and what a societal influence goes through as it begins to progress and wants to help the less fortunate societies is definitely present in this. And I'm going to put forth right away that the acting was done very well throughout the movie. There's not very many cheesy lines, and they did have a lot of fun with it.
I will admit that it was well written, and it did kind of keep me gripped with the motivations of the character and how they changed. Right. Because every character pretty much has to go through some sort of growth or change throughout the narrative. So that's good writing. That I will admit. And
then, not to mention, I was very happy to see that they didn't slap on any whitewashing. They had only two real main influential white characters. You had Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Serkis. Yeah, which was nice not to be like, oh, Gollum or...
oh, this guy, he really enjoyed. It looked like he was having a lot of fun playing the role. That's good.
And then there's Martin Freeman.
Of course.
And you said it best.
What?
Hearing an American accent come out of that man Freeman, kind of stopped me.
After watching him through The Hobbit and Sherlock and his greatest role in my mind, Arthur Dent in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then, to hear him doing an American accent I was like, that's probably how Americans really do sound.
Oh, yeah, probably.
and that's the weirdest thing, is to have that brought in.
So, I mean, I will give you that. We had some newcomers, actually. Go back down for a second. We had a newcomer from the movie Get Out recently with, where is he? There he is. Daniel.
I'm not even going to try.
Daniel Kaluuya. And so, he's an up-and-coming star. He did really well in Get Out, and so...
Oh, that's where I saw him before.
Yeah.
I thought he looked familiar. I remember seeing him in the preview for Get Out, but I didn't see Get Out.
Unless we're totally wrong, and then you can ream us up the comments.
Yeah.
So I thought
stick your nose right in our comments if we got a problem. Forrest Whitaker shows up. That's good to see him in something.
Yeah.
I felt like he was a little stilted in his appearance in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, he didn't really go through
Rogue One.
Here's a question for you. Did you notice this? And I'm going to say this is one of my biggest, this really threw off the mise-en-scène of the movie for me. When he's talking to his dad.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he's got a wandering eye?
Yeah. His dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never noticed that before.
That was weird, huh? I don't know. I mean, it's an offshoot of how I handle people in real life whenever they got a wandering eye. It's really, I looked it up online because I was really concerned about that as a social awkwardness. And you pick one And that's the one you focus on.
Right, and I had to do that, but I feel really bad saying it. I feel bad that I focused on that for so long. But
seeing it on a screen 30 feet tall.
Yeah, it was just like...
in close-up was a little bit disconcerting. I don't think that that's on him. Yeah. I mean, that's the way he's always been.
And,
so,
I mean, Chadwick Boseman played... T'Challa.
T'Chaka was his father.
Yeah, T'Chaka was his father. T'Challa. He plays him very well. And Michael B. Jordan is actually one of my favorite actors. I think he really does well in almost every role he has. And yes, I even mean Fantastic Four. So, but...
Oh, Fantastic?
Yeah, Fantastic. But I was okay with...
Superheroes.
I know. But see, I knew him from Chronicles before he got into superhero movies. And, well, Chronicle. But I enjoyed most of the stuff he's been in. And so I'd like to see him in more. So,
granted, I'm willing to put aside the whole I don't like superhero movies. I don't like superhero narratives. I think that they're weak writing. I will always say that every single time we review a superhero movie, so yes, get used to hearing it. But I'm willing to put that aside because I have a gripe that goes beyond the superhero thing. And I think that's the major gripe that anybody's going to really have about this movie.
Okay.
And that is, okay, yes, Wakanda is a super technologically advanced society. They have a meteor's worth of vibranium that has been fueling their advancements for a very long time. So of course they have this massive imaging technology and medical advancements and things like that. The ability to make spaceships that fly. I'm fine with all of this. Magic, science, magic, magic, science, magic.
Right.
The suits, the nano suits that can, just be a necklace that you wear and then it takes over your body and becomes the superhero suit. Okay, superhero suits have been in a lot more dumb ways.
Okay.
Yeah. But when your superhero has a mask, the mask stays on. It doesn't come off for convenience sake. There's no amount of AI programming or super magic science that can explain how this mask knows when to disappear and when to reappear.
And I agree with you. The only character I've ever seen in a movie that can pull off expression through a mask is Deadpool.
Yeah.
And
that's the mask, working with him.
It moves with him. But yes, I will give you the fact that it was just like, suddenly my mask is off. By the way, you're a superhero. Your identity's supposed to be secret.
So these masks were appearing and reappearing in the only way they could be called plot convenience. And it really kind of took me out of the narrative. Like, if I see somebody wearing a mask trying to emote, I'm not going to be like, well, I can't see the emotion, so obviously the performance is detracted from because of that. But they had to have the mask coming off and for every single delivery of like expression and dialogue between, especially with the fight between Killmonger and Black Panther.
Right.
And it was just jarring. It was absolutely jarring because not only am I sitting there going, well, this only makes sense because it is a movie. And that is the only reason they can justify why it happens. But this would not make sense in the narrative structure of linear artwork, as known as comic books. And I hesitate to think, having not read Black Panther, the comic book, like most anybody, really, it's not a very popular comic book.
I read it.
But yeah. The idea of the mask coming off and being put back on at convenience level would not work in a static art form.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there going, well, this obviously didn't happen this way in the comic book. They were probably wearing the masks and you didn't see any emotions whatsoever.
Right. It was all told through speech.
It was all told through speech. And that's where you have dialogue and we understand these motivations. We have been getting this. The story is really well presented. This is out of 95% of a well presented story. This is the 5% where I'm saying that's the misstep.
And we've watched other movies that have done similar things like Iron Man, where they've actually, how they portray the emotion and the dichotomy between how they feel and what they're presenting is actually done really well. Like, if you've watched certain parts, Spider-Man did it with Tobey Maguire, where you had the mask and it looks stoic. It looks like there's no emotion, so it's a hard, strong superhero that cannot be flawed, and then it gets partially ripped open and you see that fear bleed through. I mean, that's part of the essence of the movie. And
that's supposed to be...
Yeah, it's supposed to be part of it.
That's part of being a superhero.
But this one, it didn't seem... You're right. It didn't seem like they did very well on that. I will give I will give you the 95% correct and the 5% wrong. But one of the nicest things that they did and do in this movie is that they actually put forth you're becoming your own demon. It doesn't matter race, religion, color, or anything like that. It's you hate us because we're not doing exactly what you hate. And that it points it out well. So, I mean, definitely from a political standpoint, this deserves to at least be recognized for its presentation. And it does well on that.
It does really well on that. I do like how, T'Challa is the new king, and as the king, he ends up having to go through the growth of not just taking on the responsibilities that he was prepared for, but taking on the responsibilities he wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, like the secrets you get told once you become the president.
Figuring out everything that goes on the throne and that as a king, like everybody kneels to a king, but a king has to kneel for nothing. So he doesn't have somebody else he can kind of pass that off onto as being like,
Well, he has to be accountable.
Yeah, he's accountable. So I like that. I think it was really well put together. And of Marvel movies, I'd put this up there probably just beneath the Guardians of the Galaxy series as far as my favorite narratives as far as it goes.
I mean, honestly, I have favorites and disfavorites. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the really crappy ones, Spider-Man 3. But, I mean, there are ones out there right now that have done worse. And they definitely do at least present a strong reason for this movie to be considered one of the best African-American type stories out there, because it finally does show culture.
And I'm always of a mind, like, it doesn't even need to be just solely an African-American thing. It's a good story, and it doesn't matter that, most of the people on the screen are African-American. It's a story that's being told in Africa about Africans. Of course they need to be African.
Exactly.
And, the whole African, it's a movie for everybody. And I think that's really the thing that needs to be put forth about this. It's a good movie for everybody. You shouldn't feel reluctant to go watch it because of whatever reason like that. It's good. I recommend it.
And I definitely recommend it too. Other than that
was Quick and Dirty Reviews. Hit us up in the comments down below if you have something you think we should take a look at. Let us know if you agree, disagree, and we will see you guys next time.
Oaxaca.
Oh, no.
Hey, isn't it great that this is like the first black superhero movie?
Blade, people.
I mean, that's not a superhero. That's a vampire.
No, that was a superhero. It was a Marvel superhero movie.
Yeah. And not to mention black superhero. How about Shaft?
Well, you got to go with the superhero. He was definitely a hero of the people, but Blade.
Yeah.
I mean, Catwoman doesn't count because Catwoman was a super villain.
Well, also, Blade was before Catwoman.
Oh.
Catwoman got put into one of those really interesting gray areas. Why do I talk about this stuff? I hate comic books and superheroes.
I understand that, but I love the Blade trilogy.
I like logicking them out. Blade was all right. Blade is. I have to thank Blade for bringing Jessica Biel into my life.
Blade 1 was great. Blade 2 was better. Blade 3 jumped the shark, but it had Ryan Reynolds as before Deadpool.
Yeah.
But as Deadpool.
But isn't Blade not a superhero because he's in prison?
No, that's Wesley Snipes. That has nothing to do with the character. All right, Dr. Evil, take your cat and go.